it's Laurelei, and I wouldn't like to say that I've picked a favorite show out of all the new shows I'm starting, but I will say that Steins was probably my favorite pilot I watched, or the one that got me the most excited. I like the day after I watched it, I was in the car with my sister and I could not stop gushing to her about how much I loved the opening of the show. Like, I don't know what it is about it. It's just fascinating to me, and it just like pushed all the right buttons in my little nerd head, and it just all works so well. And I loved it so much, and I'm really excited to continue with this show. A lot of people are not happy that I'm watching the dub, which is the norm for this channel. But I have to say, I like what they did with the dub, because a lot of people are upset because the dub in translation, it takes out a lot of the apparently otaku jokes that were made in the original Japanese that like referenced a lot of Japanese pop culture and jokes about stuff like that. But I think they translated it really well, because what they did was they still, what J. Michael Tatum did when he was transcribing it into English, it still keeps like that heart to it of nerddom, but it adds and changes different cultural references that kind of cross the gap, that make people who maybe don't watch as much anime or know as much about Japanese culture still get the picture that this guy is a gigantic nerd. And it definitely came across that way to me, and a lot of the references that were probably more Western culturally based also hit me really well. Like, my favorites being the Great Green Gobs of Greasy Grimy Gopher Guts, which I sang that song a lot as a child, and all of the Alice in Wonderland references, which I'm like the biggest Alice in Wonderland nerd there possibly could be. Like, you probably don't even think that Alice in Wonderland nerds could be a thing. Believe me, I am one. But, so that really sold me as well. So, I don't know how much different it is from the sub, and someday I probably will watch the sub, but for right now, I'm really loving this English dub. Just because it's different doesn't mean it's bad. I think it's awesome in its own way. And yeah, so I was super excited by the pilot, even though I had no idea what was happening, and I'm super excited to get on to episode 2, so let's do this. Yes.
You're alive!
Yeah, I would probably be having the same reaction if I saw someone die, and then...
Look, I only want to get to the bottom of this. Where are the stab wounds?
Where's your trauma? Get away from me!
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Feel free to slap him if he gets too grabby, as the doctor's lecture never happened, remember? But, excuse me. They're ready for you now, ma'am.
Coming.
You can't just saunter on!
You are sick.
Far from it. I am Hoin Kioma!
So you'll have to strap in and bear with me a little bit.
Wow, she's cutting her teeth on us.
So she's giving a lecture on time travel.
I guess a zombie's out of the question.
Is that they're no more real than the boogeyman? Tantalizing to consider, perhaps, but framed objectively, something any serious physicist simply outgrows.
Objection!
I'm sorry?
No more real than a boogeyman. Ha! Your evidence, skeptic, please. I hope no one saw me come in with you.
That's not really...
I think that's the point of the lecture, is that she presents her
foundations in virtually
evidence.
every branch of physics argues against the idea. Wouldn't want the conversation hijacked by entrenched naysayers, now would we? Agreed? Ho-Win Kioma.
Infuriating.
Safe to say, string theory doesn't jibe with the notion of bouncing around through time in a blue police box. However charming that sounds.
Doctor Who reference, are you kidding me?
So much for Goodle's view. Let's forge ahead to the next contender. That is, I should say, if I'm not moving too fast.
She thoroughly defeated him in his own argument, didn't she?
Unless, of course, the gentleman...
Why must she be so damnably articulate? I'm gonna leave you to ramble.
This is awesome.
No doubt it'll give member morale a little boost.
Really? You're not just saying that, are you?
Does she have a crush on him? That's
Don't
cute.
you think Ruka's sword practice is starting to pay off? Except I don't really perform them all by myself. Father's usually...
A malign spirit has taken possession of my right hand, Ruka-go! Banish it before I'm forced to do something unseemly!
Good grief.
That spirit sure likes messing with you while you're here.
Indeed, it is insatiable.
She's adorable.
Urishibaru Ruka, the personification of feminine grace. And a dude. Tall as a willow, slender as a reed. A dude.
What?
Radiant in shrine vestments. Dude.
Aren't you, gentlemen? It's a late shift today, so I'll probably just head on home after I get out.
The stairwell of the radio building.
That'd be the kind of thing to stick out.
You'd think so, yeah.
It's like
Well, anyway,
he
never
lived
mind.
a timeline that no one else can remember. Like a possible timeline that didn't actually
I don't
happen.
get it. No one remembers but me. Has Father Time encroached so swiftly that help is needed to maintain a clientele-free cavern like this? Come closer and ask.
Hey, you guys! Serious CRT buff.
You're hired. Nice bit of vaudeville. You should take it on the road.
Should I care what you think?
Not unless you give a crap about some idiot renting the space above us. Many a passing acquaintance of mine has been hounded by the organization. Sarah, dear Claudia, innocent Simone.
That's so tragic. Well, I don't frighten easily, mister.
Please don't encourage the guy. He's whacked enough as it is.
Yeah?
One day the world shall tremble beneath my feet.
He's got his maniacal laugh down.
Working hypothesis. Reality and my brain are at odds.
Apt hypothesis.
It's possible to meet your past self. It'll simply change world lines if you do. You have to let go of this idea of time as a single line moving from past to future. It's actually comprised of infinite lines all running parallel. Let's say, for example, someone murdered you. By traveling back in time to prevent it, I create two divergent worlds. One where you're killed, one where you're not. The same basic idea is true of all such actions. The traveler splits off to a different world line.
So his thing now is that he's Japanese? He rears up on U.S. message boards back in 2000. Takes the internet and every underground publisher by storm.
I've heard this story.
A dozen results? No way. 10 years ago, every chode with a .com address was on top of this thing. Impossible. No, this is wrong. Where'd you move my books?
I'm sorry.
The ones I had on John Teeter, man. Look, I've always kept them in the same place.
Who the hell is John Teeter? Dude?
It's like the Mandela effect
I
almost.
spent all night trying to turn up pay dirt on the man. No stone unturned, no forum unscoured.
That's crazy. It's like timeline switched and he's the only person aware of it or something.
Excuse me? What in the...
Apparently I've offended you in some way.
What were you taking pictures of?
Evidence. Evidence I was here. I mean, of the stuff I've seen, I suppose you could say.
I don't believe this. You're trying to strong-arm me, aren't you?
I'll delete it if you tell me.
This is weird.
Very well, then. Can't you read? It says Hoy and Kilma right there. Fine. Allow me. Okay, just send me a blank text then. I'll reply back when I have a free moment.
Welcome home, youngster!
I wonder what
We've
her
been
issue
waiting
is.
for you. Oh,
Go around?
oh, he's lounging in the back. Tiana! What happened
She works
to
at a
your
cat
solo
cafe.
doorway every 3 days you've been
Cat
with me,
maid cafe.
Frankenstein?
Ferris, I cannot let you fight my battles in good conscience.
Not even when I've mastered my super secret special move?
What?
Months of hardship in the Guyana Highlands couldn't deter me, nor the death of my beloved master. No,
realize I hate you now.
It would appear this Kirio Moeka is a woman on a bit of a mission. Oh joy, the plot thickens. She's a freeder, whatever that is. And evidently only a person of few words in person. Great. What's up? You owe me a lunch for not unleashing this chatty Cathy on you, man.
Eat it while it's hot.
Bitchin'! Prepare to be impressed. I'm about to do some damage.
Keep it in
I knew I could
pants.
count on you.
Oh man, this is heaven on a plate.
I'll be sure to send your compliments along to the chef.
Analysis. The gel nanas, hitherto for so to be named, have been ripped asunder at the molecular level.
They're basically mutant bananas, you mean? Yeah, they're hers.
We haven't time to quibble over particulars here, but this is science.
Okay,
Why
I think one's
is he
more than
focused on
enough.
mutating bananas?
Just note, while I was willing to up the ante, you remain a one-banana cautious Carl.
You know, I refuse to be insulted by the guy who named this machine. Done.
What is it?
It's gone! Look!
What?
Impossible. Is this your idea of a joke?
Hey, if anyone's getting punked here, it's me.
Look, either you palmed it or we have a teleporter on our hands.
A what? You think it teleported?
Open your eyes. How else does an ordinary banana go from...
Okay, that's freaking weird.
hell?
That's funny. I could have sworn we tore it off from the rest of them. That's what I thought.
I think we might be onto something.
Kinda seems like it, huh?
Interesting experiment you've got going on there,
What the
Hokume
heck?
Ritaro. Or wait, I'm sorry, is it Halloween Kioma?
Makise. Kurisu.
What? Okay, I don't know what's happening, but I love it. I can't explain what is drawing me so much to this show, but I want to just watch all of it at once. Like, I don't know, it's just like pushing all the right buttons for me. Like, I don't know why. Every character is just interesting and funny and deep. I don't know what's happening most of the time, but whatever's happening, I'm completely fascinated by. I've got theories going in my head, which could be right or they could be 100% wrong, but I don't really care, because I'm just excited to see where this takes me. Why did the banana teleport and reattach itself? That's a turn of events I did not anticipate. And really, it's like the whole... I feel like it's diverging timelines or something. That timelines are diverging and only he's aware of it, or something's changing. It reminds me a lot of the Mandela effect, which is when someone remembers something differently than other people remember it. Like how he thinks that John Teeter was way back in 2000, but he's only showing up now, and he's showing up in different places, and that's interesting. It's kind of like, if you guys don't know the great Berenstain Bears controversy, that's the Mandela effect of that. I'm 100% on board with that controversy, because I definitely remember spelling Berenstain Bears a different way than it's spelled on books, and I was a very phonetic child. I specifically memorized words in a certain way so I remember how to spell them. So yeah, that effect has definitely hit me. But yeah, I'm really fascinated. Like, I don't know what it is about this show, but I am in love with it already. It's like I said, I don't know what's happening, but it's like not an unpleasant I don't know what's happening. It's a pulling me in and I have to watch the next episode to find out what's happening kind of confusion. And that's my favorite kind. And yeah, it's hard to explain a lot of my thoughts that were going on during this episode, because most of them were just like, huh? I don't know. I'm super confused, and I'm loving every second of it. And that pretty much sums up my experience. And I'm really excited to get to the next episode. Like, oh man, I might just binge some of this soon. I am loving this show so much. I can't explain it. Oh man. I should probably just stop gushing. Man. Oh, thank you guys for watching. I love you so much. And I'm gonna be so freaking excited to see you in the next episode.